This is our idea presentation for our idea cerebrum, which is a gateway of Hugging Face to agent verse. So what we have created is an one agent, that is HF agent, which can create any model or any Hugging Face model with a given model ID, and it can run in transient mode, that is it generates the model and deletes after the inference has been generated for a given prompt, and or it can deploy any agent in the agent verse for a specific model ID. So let's see in action. So this is our HF orchestrator agent. Initially we don't have any models and we have this knowledge graph. So first I'll show you the HF agent. So when I chat with it and give it the text, get me the text of get me text generation for after this using the GPT-2 model. So when I pass this, so what it will do is make a transient script which can make GPT-2 model inside it and generate inference for this prompt. The white man worked as a minikube. So this is the output of the Hugging Face model after the generation. Now let's talk about the orchestrator agent. So orchestrator agent is uh, when you don't know about the what model ID to use, what model ID suits you the best. The orchestrator agent follows this logic. So when you it intends what the user intends to query, then it checks the meta knowledge graph, that is this graph, and search for what best model ID it have for a specific task. So for example, for text generation we have GPT-2 model. So then it will check if if there exists any special agent which have GPT-2 model running and can generate inference from GPT-2 model directly. If yes, then it pass the prompt to that agent, or if no, then it increments the users count. I'll tell you why this is in a bit. Then it will tell HF agent to build the model and run and generate inference for the query passed. So I'll show you in action. So this is our orchestrator agent, chat with agent. So when you pass task like generate the task type and the prompt after the search. So when I pass this, so it will get the task, it will send the command to HF agent to generate for prompt, and it will set the GPT-2 model ID. So this is the it runs the transient script to generate this GPT-2 model and generate inference for the prompt. So this is the response which is directly returned by the in the orchestrator agent chat. So now let's say when I pass this task when I pass this task to meet threshold, that is I have set the threshold to 2, that is when the orchestrator understands that GPT-2 model, the text generation model, is used very much. So it will does is it will tell the orchestrator agent to just deploy the model and first make the GPT-2 model and deploy the agent which can generate inference from a GPT-2 model. So when I do this, so it will send the command to that HF agent to first generate what is the user query. So this is the return. I think they are trying to make this. So this is the return. But now one special thing has happened. So the user incremented the GPT-2 model count to 2. So this threshold has been reached. So what it does is it generates a persistent GPT-2 model, and the HF agent just deploys the model, just make the GPT-2 model and deploys the agent which can generate inference based on the given prompt directly, and pass the agent address, that is this, to directly to our updated knowledge graph. Sorry, the orchestrator agent, and it will update its knowledge graph. So when I pass this, when I see this agent in the agent verse, so chat with agent. So let's say I just gave this prompt again. So what it does, it don't go through any of this and just directly generates what is the output for a given prompt, that is this. So now talking about the code. So first I'll tell you about the HF agent, and also you can see the agent model has been made and one runner.py is generated which generates the persistent persistent GPT-2 model. So now talking about the HF agent. So I have all the mailbox key, barrier key and all. So basically it have two tools to run make model in transient mode. So this is the script. It generates a process and make the environment variables, and then it generates the model of the Hugging Face and generate inference format. Then there is one code to generate persistent model. So it will first generate the script, then it will execute the Python code in a sub process, and as soon as it get the result, it will pass to the requested agent. So this is the tools, this is the schema. I have passed this tools. Then also we have registered this in the agent first. So on startup it get registered in the agent first. So whenever user queries, it will first pass the query to the LLM to make the tool calls, whether to run in a transient mode or a persistent mode, and what is the text in the query. And this is our custom protocol to chat with any orchestrator agent. So what it does, it gives tasks like generate type, then model ID, and this. So it first infer what type, the type means to generate in transient or persistent. So this makes the transient model or persistent model and run the code. So now talking about the orchestrator agent, we first have the knowledge graph like this. So these are the our knowledge graph, and these are the functions to fetch anything from match query for any the any query for then, and this is some tests. Now talking about the orchestrator agent, whenever it receives a query by any user, it will directly go to the main orchestrator logic. So that is, it will first pass the query, then it will start the flowchart to check Meta's knowledge graph if there exists any knowledge, that is this, for a task, that is in our case the text generation. So there exists a knowledge text generation, that is. So then it will check if model ID is this, then it will check any specialist agent of that model ID. Is there any specialist agent in the agent first? So if there is, so it will directly pass the task to that agent. So by this HF manager chat, then the path B. So no agent exists, so it increments the count, then sends the query to the HF agent to make the model and generate inference. And the last part is, when the threshold has been reached, it will directly deploy the model. That is to say, HF agent to just deploy the model with given model ID. So and if there is no knowledge exists in the knowledge graph, it will create a new meta atom, and it will search in the agent verse for similar tasks and just return that type of agents. So this is all the handlers, message handlers for different, for HF agent chat. If you deploy successfully tool, so or you get any agent address, it will just update its knowledge graph. So this is the script, and there is one runner which generates the GPT-2 model, for which first generates the GPT-2 model, and whenever you receive any query, it just passes this pipeline in the prompt to the pipeline and generate inference from it. So this is our whole idea, and it also register the agent in the agent first. So we have successfully deployed for the text-based Hugging Face models. Now we are looking for image generation and sound generation models, and we'll surely integrate it in the meantime. Thank you.